Hey everybody, Barrett Wilson here with Guitar Tricks. I'm here once again with my buddy Anders, fellow Guitar Tricks instructor. How's it going?
It's going all right. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Today we're excited to get into learning guitar. The second you pick up a guitar, there's sort of an infinite number of paths that you can take. It can be quite overwhelming when you start out.
Yeah, especially because the guitar is probably, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's probably the instrument that has the widest range of sounds that it makes, right? Anything from Bob Dylan to like ambient soundscapes.
There's so much.
Heavy metal. And
there's so many different types of guitars. There's baritone guitars, there's 12-string guitars, classical guitars. It's quite endless. And I think you have a point there that it is probably the instrument that has the most versatility. And let us know in the comment if you agree with that.
So yeah, it can be overwhelming. And I think one of the most common questions I get is, do I need to learn X, Y, and Z?
Yes.
And my answer is always, it depends if you like the sound of that or if you need it. Because again, there are infinite things you can do with these 6 strings. So that's kind of our topic today, is like, it just depends on what kind of records you listen to.
Yep.
And what kind of sounds and moods you'd like to be able to create with this. Because there is no, I mean, there are teachers who teach like the textbook version and you keep your head down and then eventually one day you get to make the music you want to make.
Yeah.
But all the music that we all listen to was made by people who didn't wait for permission.
Right.
Who didn't do that. They just went straight for the thing they thought was cool.
Yep.
And they did that.
By the way, we've got a quick announcement. Guitar Tricks is running a Black Friday special right now. It's just $99 for the first year and you get a ton of awesome stuff. You're gonna get an annual full access subscription, custom lesson plan, premium bootcamp, 100 essential licks series, ultimate beginner guide, guitar soloing guide, plus a setup guide to make your guitar play like butter. Oh, and there are 4 bonus gifts too. Rock and blues jam tracks, the Song Builder's Toolbox, and Chord Theory Magic. So if you've been waiting for a sign to start playing more guitar, this is it. Just head over to guitartricks.com/special and grab that deal before it's gone. Now back to the episode. And we've talked about this before, thinking about the things that you like the most, the things that draw you to guitar, those are going to be the things that you should be practicing, essentially. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about practicing a little bit, what you should practice, and definitely knowing these things, knowing where your compass is leading you is going to help avoid the things that maybe you don't need to be practicing at that minute, which can free you up, right? Mm-hmm. If you know what you like, if you know the tunes that you want to gear your practicing toward, then you can practice those things. Forget the other things for now, forget the noise a little
Until
bit.
You know why you need it.
Exactly,
yeah.
Which is the fun thing about guitar. It always leads to something else and gets you into a whole new realm from there.
True.
So yeah, today we thought we'd start off with a little bit of a few different approaches on what you would like to do as a guitarist. So say maybe you want to be a singer-songwriter, you pick up an acoustic guitar, and a lot of people just want to strum some chords, sing some tunes, and that's a great place to start. So we thought we would start there and just give you a few basic things that you need to learn. So to start things off, open chords are a great thing to learn first off, right?
It's hard to learn anything on guitar without starting with open chords, but it can be done. But
it is amazing how much these open chords, your C, your G, your minor ones too, E minor, maybe some D minor. These chord shapes will be kind of the entryway to the whole guitar. It leads to everything else in a way. Mm-hmm. So yeah, maybe we'll just take a progression. We'll talk through some of this stuff. Say a C to a G to an A minor and an F. This is kind of a classic progression that you've heard a million times in a million different songs. So when you're picking up the guitar, it can even be hard to play those big open shapes. You might want to start with smaller shapes if it's hurting your fingers, and then eventually get the bigger shapes, of course. And then a big part is learning the rhythm, right? So you might want to start learning with some whole notes. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. That's the absolute basics of rhythm, right? Mm-hmm. And then from there, filling out your strum, quarter notes, learning eighth notes. Eventually, you're going to want to learn like a syncopated strum.
Which is what we call strumming patterns, right? It's like good sort of go-to ways to strum the chords.
Yep. So that's going to take some time, but it's going to be imperative for eventually if you want to sing or if you want to play with a singer, just the sort of the bread and butter of this. And then maybe eventually you want to add in some finger picking. That might be a great thing to learn. What else is there in this?
There's like using capos.
Oh, yeah.
Is a big thing.
Big time. I've got a capo here. This is going to be great for if you need to find a different key in a song you've played or that you've learned, and you can use the same chord shapes, right? Mm-hmm. So,
or even just to get a different sound out of your instrument.
To get a different sound.
Sounds sweeter and brighter. And
you can take it all the way up the neck. And a great thing about learning the capo is you can play all of these different keys without necessarily knowing what the keys are. Mm-hmm. You can find it for your voice or someone else's voice. And yeah, you can get some really cool sounds out of it. Which also leads me to think this might be a good thing to learn is a little bit of basic theory if you want to get into some songwriting. Just your basic, sometimes we call it the Nashville system, which is just basic harmony.
It's just looking at the chords as numbers in relation to each other.
Yeah. And this can help you write better songs. It can help you understand other people's songs or songs you want to learn. And what else would be good?
Maybe open tunings.
Open tunings is very fun.
Yeah.
Really great way to write songs. Find your own tuning or pick one that you really resonate with. So that could work really well with sort of a singer-songwriter approach. Mm-hmm. And then eventually, what else is there? What other paths are there for guitarists? Maybe it like a lead guitar.
Yeah, so then we get into what I think draws a lot of people to the guitar is the idea of being the lead guitar, right? Yeah. It is just as fun and just as important to be the main guitarist. But it's also really fun to be we call it lead guitar, but I call it supportive guitar, right?
Yes.
Because you're the main guy, and I'm going to try and do things that make you sound better. Mm. That's true whether we're in a band or whether you've hired me as a session player.
Yeah.
But that kind of opens up a new sort of path.
A whole world of guitar playing.
Yeah, and potential things to learn. So let me just tune up real quick, and then we'll do the same progression, and I'll just kind of demo some of those things.
Totally. So this would be, let's just say I'm the main singer, songwriter, I'm performing, and I've got my, finger picking, I'm doing the strumming, so I'm kind of holding down the main harmony, and then Anders is going to come in, and he's going to complement the part that I'm playing. So it's not necessarily stepping in front and just taking over, but adding to.
Because that's the first thing, right? It's like if I just play the exact same chords as you do.
Yeah.
Let's try that real quick.
Okay, I'll do a little basic strum. I'll do like a.
It doesn't sound bad, but I'm just kind of in the same territory as you are.
Yeah.
So this sort of leads you to want to learn some more voicings of the chords, meaning some more ways to play the same chords. So I can kind of get out of your territory a little bit. And that's where I always recommend learning triads, but learning bar chords and just any way you go about it. It's just the idea of like, there are many places to play the same chords. And when you want to be the supportive guitar player, then it starts to make sense to learn those.
Yep.
It doesn't really make sense if you're the main engine of the song. You don't have to learn all these inversions up the neck.
So that might be something, if you hear some teachers say, oh, you got to get into your scales and your triads right away.
Yeah.
But you're the one that wants to just be singing the song and playing the basic strum. That might be something.
Maybe you ignore that.
Exactly. Ignore that one. By the way, what is something you've been told that you need to practice but you didn't understand why you needed to? Leave a comment and let us know. Let's get back to the episode. And then if you do want to learn the triads and the more advanced stuff, then definitely jump into that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then that kind of leads you to like start making chord licks out of them. So let me try and play some chord licks.
Okay.
Right, just things that make it sound more like parts and kind of rhythm guitar vocabulary.
Yeah. Okay, so what if, and this kind of leads to, how do you differentiate solo, like a solo versus a part? Maybe we could demonstrate that. Let's take one round where you're kind of playing a part, and then one round where you're taking it and sort of soloing.
Yes. That is kind of a blurry thing.
It's a little blurry, right? But let's try it.
Okay.
Let's see what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Solo time. Nice. So I would say the main thing that differentiated it was the part was simpler. It left space, right?
And it played more notes at a time.
Yeah.
Once I switched to single notes, it becomes more...
It's busier. You're playing a little bit more melodic ideas.
I'm trying to grab the attention, where when I'm playing the rhythm part, I'm trying to not really attract the attention.
Yes.
Imagining that there's a vocal doing that.
So that's a lot to cover in this, lead guitar world. So let's talk a little bit about soloing.
Yeah.
And how, that's what you're going to approach next.
Yeah. And again, not everybody wants to solo, but a lot of people get into the guitar specifically because they want to solo.
Yeah.
That's just an important thing to consider.
Yeah.
And if you are the person who's drawn to the guitar just because you want to solo, you may want to learn some chords eventually too. But anyway, if you want to solo, most people start out learning pentatonics.
Okay.
And pentatonic is just a full major scale where we've removed some notes.
Okay.
And removing those notes means that it makes it easier to sound like you're playing ideas.
Okay.
Right? If you play like...
Yeah.
It very quickly sounds like you're playing a scale.
Yeah. A little bit more classical based, a little bit more just like,
But when you play pentatonics, even if I just play the pentatonic note for note...
Very musical.
It sounds like it's an idea.
Yeah.
So that's why we start out learning pentatonics.
Okay.
And most people start out learning the minor pentatonic.
Okay.
And they play that over everything, which let's demonstrate how bad that sounds in this context. So
1, 2, 3, 4.
We've all heard those guys, right?
Well, that was kind of cool. No,
it's just a very sort of rough and tension-filled sound.
Yeah.
Where then at that point, if you at that point, if you like I do not like, that's a weird thing. Anyway, okay. If you also don't like how that sounds, then maybe you want to learn some major pentatonics.
Yes, okay.
Which, I like to tell people that that's as simple as just moving the same pattern down 3 frets.
Same pattern down 3 frets.
So
let's hear it. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's basically the same visual pattern.
Yeah.
And more or less the same vocabulary, just a whole different sound.
Okay.
So now we're into do I need to learn major pentatonics?
Yeah.
Well, if you want to create that sound, which you may not like that sound, maybe you like the other one better. You play like a southern rock band, and it just works great to play minor pentatonic over everything.
Yeah.
And there are ways to adapt that to make it a little more majory too. So it all just depends on what you're trying to do and what you want to do.
Yeah. It leads back to the style, the genre. With country guitar, you're definitely going to want to spend a lot of time with those different pentatonic shapes.
Yes.
Learning the major, learning the minor, how they relate to each other, right? Moving from one to the next.
Which then leads us to the technical parts, right? If you're playing country, you probably want to learn some hybrid picking.
Yes.
If you want to sound more like a shredder, like someone who plays really fast, then you want to learn some economy picking.
Yep.
But again, if you don't want to make that sound, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So the thing is always like, until you know why you need something,
Yeah.
you don't need to learn it.
Yeah. Yep. And it also could be great. Okay, say there's a song that you love, and maybe you have a teacher. This is why you bring the song that you love to the teacher, and hopefully the teacher can kind of give you a guide like, okay, this is what's happening in this song. So these are your goals that you should form based on the techniques that are kind of in this song.
Exactly.
So that can be a good way to sort of pull out what you need to do and what you need to study. What else is there? I mean, there's so many genres. There's classical guitar, which we don't talk a whole lot about, but there's some really great stuff in classical guitar that we actually carry into other genres, especially with the playing scales and learning how to finger pick and things like that.
Well, then there's a whole world of effects.
Oh, yes.
Because that's also what draws a lot of people to guitar.
Yep.
And some people don't care about it.
Yeah.
And that's like, if you want to be able to do like the more ambient sounding stuff.
Especially as a backing guitarist
Exactly.
or as an accompanist.
Yeah. Then you might want to learn how to use a delay pedal and get into some different types of reverb. But,
Yeah.
you know, if you're a rock and roll guitar player, then
Yeah.
maybe that's not something you need.
Right. Just the basics, the Barrett, the amp, the distortion, maybe a tuner pedal.
Yeah, that's definitely a good idea. Yeah.
Just the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so we're going to play through a few more ideas. Now I'm going to go return back to my finger picking, and then Anders is going to try a little bit more like, I guess, indie ambient ideas over it, perhaps.
Yeah, I brought a delay pedal, so
I see it down there and it's a beauty.
yeah, we'll see what happens.
Let's just see what happens. I'm just going to start playing.
Yeah.
So let's talk through what you're doing there. You're definitely leaving a lot of space, more space than you otherwise would, because you have the delay pedal. So
Yeah, because I'm also imagining there's a vocal.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Because that's always the type of music I like to play is stuff that's built around a lyric and But yeah, at first I was just doing octaves.
Okay. Oh, nice.
And then I was kind of following you down.
Okay.
Just using some chord tones, which again you can find by ear, or you can learn it, from theory.
Theoretically. Chord tone is just a note in the chord that's being played.
Exactly. And you can do this without knowing theory too.
Yeah.
And you can also not follow the chords.
Yeah.
Let's try that real quick.
Okay. 3, 4. So there you have like a thematic group of notes that you're just trying to play over the chord progression, right? This is really common in pop music, a lot of music. And then eventually you kind of get to a point, right, where you're like, one of these notes has to change.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where your ear comes in. And I'm a huge proponent, as you are, of learning things by ear.
Yeah.
And that's why finding your favorite records, your songs, just pick up the guitar, see if you can start picking things out. And that's going to be huge in developing your ear.
Even if it's just the tools they're using. Like you don't actually have to, it's great to learn note for note, but even if you can just pinpoint, is that major pentatonic? Is that minor pentatonic?
Yeah.
Does it sound like they're doing like this sort of snappy chicken picking, hybrid picking thing?
Right.
Or does it sound like they're doing these like really smooth sounding economy legato things? Like if you can just pick out like roughly what tools they're using, then you'll also know to add that to your potential practice to-do list.
Absolutely. And hearing those, being able to hear those things is also going to develop your own style and your own playing and sounding and everything. Very cool. By the way, if you want to learn more about playing lead guitar, get our free guitar soloing guide at the link below. It's got details on scales everyone needs to know and so much more. Now back to the lesson. Okay, what else? What else is there?
Well, we could add some tremolo.
Okay.
Let me crank the reverb here.
You want to do something a little bit more country?
Yeah, sure.
Or you want to do it, keep it slower?
I feel like I gotta double check my tuning again.
I know, me too.
If you're breathing, you're tuning.
I think I'm still in.
Yep, we're good.
We could do like a...
Yeah.
Very cool. So you're playing lower notes there, which also very atmospheric, but you're kind of playing root notes of chords and then moving around sort of like bass movement tones.
Yeah, sort of a combination of root notes and just melodic notes, which would be the really anything other than the chord tones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of surfy, sort of country.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
And that's just the effects that is built into this particular Fender amp, you know.
And it's
tremolo and reverb. It's if I could just have two effects for the rest of my life, it would be tremolo and reverb.
That's all anybody really needs.
Yeah, again, depending on what you need. It's definitely anything I ever need.
Totally. I use it all the time too.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting point too. I think sometimes when we're practicing, we get a little hung up with, okay, I got to sit down and I need to be very studious with what I'm doing. I need to practice my scales. And this can lead to, when we're talking about effects and we're talking about sounds, find the sound you like and then sit down to practice, right? Yeah. So that you're actually playing with these sounds and it's going to open up your playing. It's going to open up possibilities that you wouldn't otherwise know if you're trying to play something atmospheric.
It's basically try not to be too much of a grown-up about it all. Right? We try to approach guitar like we approach our tax returns and everything else we have to, where it's like, no, you keep your head down, you get it done, and you know, we're going to take the shortest road up the mountain. And like, but when you learn guitar as a younger person, you're just like, well, this is a cool sound. I'm going to sit here with this delay for 2 hours and just make sounds and just try to get more in touch with that side of yourself. And that's why I always say to have fun with it. Because like, if you're having fun with it, then you're working on things that make sense to you. And then you're going to get better in ways that are exciting to you as opposed to exciting to someone else or prudent or whatever your teacher thought it was. And that's going to inspire you to play more. And I really, really stand by the fact that everybody we listen to learned that way. There might be some studio musicians, things who like did, and of course in the classical world it's very different. But when it comes to this instrument, that is how you learn it the best. It's by being a little bit more childish in your approach and playful.
Don't be afraid to throw all the rules out.
Exactly.
You know, even what most guitar teachers will tell you, you know, you always take things with a grain of salt. But if you're not having fun, something's a little off.
Exactly.
So exactly what you said. I think we should leave it there today. There's always things that you should avoid, you know, maybe depending on the stage that you're in. Definitely find the things that you need to focus on, but make sure and have fun through those things. Find the sound that you want.
Get inspired.
There we go. We'll see you guys later.